in front in the last lap, but just couldn't quite, it's still quite a large gap with 3 laps to go, so plenty of battle packs that could form, but we'll have to wait out and see if they do in fact happen. As McMillan now is all over the back of Job Stewart for position number 15, so McMillan, who must have had some kind of issue along the way, of course, was running up the order a lot earlier, and we've actually just seen these pitted twice for some reason, as has Brett Loxton as well, so those guys perhaps a little bit of a blunder on fuel perhaps, and that's why those guys are down the order. But that's a little bit ironic, because we do believe Talianis had some kind of issue before his pit stop, who was fighting with McMillan. So those two, perhaps in their battle to beat one another, both went over the limits just a little bit. But for now, it's going to be Thomas McMillan trying to get a run on Job Stewart. But Job a little bit too far ahead on this lap at the moment, and there will be no way through to turn number 1.
Yeah, McMillan actually had a very big moment through the double right-hander towards the end of the lap when you come uphill. He got very loose midway through the corner and pretty much did a quarter spin, and then came back on the track, got one wheel on the outstroke surface and was trying to accelerate away and spun it up really badly, and that's what allowed Stewart to get ahead of him here. But so an unfortunate mistake for Tom, but he's closed up nicely right now on Job and is applying the pressure. This is a nice area of the track to kind of start setting up your moves towards the end of the lap, or if you really push someone out wide here, you might be able to get a good dive on the inside here, and he's definitely poking the nose, just trying to unsettle Job a bit there, maybe for this corner, which is the corner he made a mistake at on the other lap. And he's going to keep applying that pressure, stick right on the back of Job's car as they come into the chicane here, but the chicane is definitely not a place that you want to make a move on. If anything, you kind of want to sit back and get a good run through it so that you can possibly chuck it up the inside here, and he's got a good run. He does have a lot of straight line speed. This guy just tries to creep it up the inside there, which is not the choice I would have made, but Job has locked the rear brakes and gone a little bit wide, but he's managing to hold it around the outside for the moment. Both of them get a pretty shabby exit, but I think that Thomas is going to be able to make a move on him here as he dives to the outside, which will of course give him the inside line to the first corner. Very nice drag race here, and we've actually got Craig Jones is tagged up on the back of these guys as well, and Craig's going to fire it down the inside. Can he get both of them? He can't, but he has gotten McMillan there, and McMillan's lost out on that pretty badly. Very nice opportunistic move there from Craig, seeing the two guys battling ahead of him as he just gets a bit squirrely coming out of the exit. So now Craig's going to have to catch back up to Job, and with only a lap and a half left, Job could very well hold on to that position if he can withstand the pressure. And Craig has lost the brakes massively. Very good job keeping that one on track, but that is a big mistake, and McMillan is going to make it through. So McMillan now is going to have to make the charge to Job. I'm just going to quickly go and check on that battle up the front of the pack as well. Just check in on those guys. Looks like Mitchell is still very close to the back of Brady, but hasn't been able to put able to put a move on him, get close enough yet. So this battle for 15th is definitely turning up a little more than I anticipated.
Yeah,
and Job's actually had to cut the chicane. He's locked up the rear, so as I said, if he can withhold the pressure, he can get away with it, but he's cleared it. McMillan.
And now McMillan and Jones are almost side by side. Don't go 3 wide into here, boys. We're going to go side by side anyway. It's going to be Job on the inside of McMillan. He dives down the inside to hold his place, gets away with the slowdown just about, but Jones is going to be opportunistic, diving up the inside, gets past McMillan, or does he? Drag race V2. Who does Job want to give the slipstream to? They're going to bang doors down the front straight. 1 lap to go. White flag for these guys. Jared Philsell pretty much coming down to check flag himself, but right now, Jones and McMillan, round number 2, down into turn number 1. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? It's going to be McMillan, just, but Jones on the inside holds it there. McMillan around the outside gets the job done, and he's going to hold the place as Jared Philsell rounds the final corner, and it was a dominant win in the end by 10 seconds ahead of Marlon McMullen there. So for Jared Philsell, it's a victory here at Imola in round number 6. But McMullen will come home second, and Brady Myers will hold that 3rd place, just slightly ahead of Mitchell McLeod. And and McMullen, they're just about out of fuel. But we go back to this battle, full 15th at the moment. Actually, we've got a good battle almost for 10th place at the moment. Jamie Knight has done a fantastic job at the moment to close in on the Rockstar livery car of Braden Bateman. And Braden Bateman cannot afford any kind of fuel drama across the start-finish line. We saw it affect one driver last week in Scott Larnack, but for Bateman, he has just a few more corners to hold off Jamie Knight, who's been on a complete charge in the last few laps. See how much more confident under brakes he is, but he's going to have one more corner to try and get a good exit. But it looks like Braden Bateman, if he doesn't do that, gets all kind of wheel spin on the exit. He will take position number 10. Scott Larnack is ahead of a big battle pack. He gets a big wiggle. He's lost a lot of momentum coming down the final straight, but he's going to hold it just ahead of Steve Jansen, who only narrowly beats Gary Cooper to the line. He returns to this battle for position number 15.
Oh, mate, it's incredible.
He's up the inside and somehow managed to hold on to, for Job Stewart, a fantastic fight in the final few laps for these guys. He managed to hold off McMillan, and Craig Jones will take position number 17. And Brett Loxton did, in the end, get that move done on Adam Gardner. And Michael Taliantic almost got back into the battle pack as well, with Hill coming home in 21st.
Job Stewart did a fantastic job on that last lap. We should get a replay of that because McMillan fired it up the inside at the final chicane. Or was it the final chicane?
We're actually going to get the entire last lap up on screen, so we'll try and sync it up for the replay. Just looking at these guys through turn number 1 at the moment, and Job Stewart, he had a lot of a margin through there, but these guys, Zach, take us through it. What a final lap for these guys.
Yeah, I'm just up at turn 3 here, coming through the chicane, and so we've got McMillan got a fairly poor run out of that section, but fired it up the inside, or just, putting the nose in there, being very aggressive through the hairpin. Got a pretty average run out of there. All the while, Craig Jones just looking for the opportunity behind these guys. As they came down into this section here, Job lost a little bit of time. Thomas had a very, very good run coming through there, and this is where it all starts to get a bit dicey down here. Job gets a big moment down the hill, which can be easy to do in these cars, right behind him as they come up the hill here, and he gets a big, big tailfish coming out of there. Thomas fires it around the outside, and here's where Joe makes a really nice move. He keeps it cool, he keeps it clean, he tucks it in under, perfect over under, and
good move.
Thomas just got a bit too much wheel spin there to really keep the move going, and then round the inside here, he tries to fire it up the inside, covers it off really, really nicely, almost contact there, as Job just holds around the outside and manages to take the drag home. And that was for 15th place. I got to say, that was one of the best races for 15th place I've ever seen. That was a great little last lap battle there.
That was fantastic. We'll get the results up on screen now for you. And wow, that race was a little bit slow in the middle of the race, but it absolutely turned it on in the final few laps. And Jared Philsell will come away as your victor for this race, 10 seconds ahead of McMullen, who did have a bit of fuel dramas in the end as well. And Brady Myers manages to round out with a podium. McLeod and Harvey will be your top 5, with Cooper Webster, Brian Borg, Dane Warren, who ran into issues all race long, Greg Sharp and Braden Bateman round out your top 10.
Yeah, and very solid results as well by the following guys. Jay McKnight, Scott Larnack, Steve Jansen, Gary Cooper taking out 14th position there, with Job Stewart taking out that final top 15 position, followed by Thomas McMillan, who had a very up and down race, but very exciting nonetheless, followed by Craig Jones, who was getting stuck in there as well. Quiet race from Stephen Varga, and Brett Loxton obviously having issues earlier on, but he did manage to catch and pass Adam Gardner before the end of the race for P19. Adam Gardner obviously P20, Michael Taliancic in 21 after running out of fuel, and Matt Morris and Ross Rizzo's your only 2 DNFs in 22nd and 23rd.
Yep, so an absolutely fantastic race in the end. What a final lap we did have, with all those guys fighting tooth and nail against one another. But that's going to be it for us here from V8’s.